What? It is?
I don't care.
That means me, you'd say that little
Did that really say examples?
Great question.
What I'm
just frustrated. All right, let's look at example 5.
She makes me feel stupid.
We're not in here. Oh, because I thought GCF would be easier before factoring.
It's a whole degree hotter than it was yesterday, Chloe.
All right, look at example 5.
Alright.
Y'all lock in with me.
Where's
Look at
example 5?
example 5.
Where's example? Oh, example 5. Found it. This looks chill.
This right here means answer in degrees. You don't have to worry about radians. To be able to read the problem easier, what could I do with cosine u? What could I change cosine u to so I can see the problem easier?
X.
What?
X.
X. So I'm going to let cosine u be the letter X. And now everywhere I see cosine u, I'm going to write an X. So this is cosine squared u, so it would be X squared. So this is 2x squared equals 1 minus x. And so when you look at that, that's less intimidating. And now I can see that I've got a quadratic with 3 terms, which means that I am going to solve by factoring. Remember from factoring, we've got to get everything to one side. I want my leading coefficient to be positive. So instead of moving 2x squared to the right, I'm going to move 1 and negative x to the left. So this is going to come over here, and this is going to come over here. So I'd have 2x squared plus x minus 1. Right? There you go. Now we're going to factor. So we got factors of -2 that add to 1.
1. Well, 2 and -1. Sorry.
There you go. All right, and if you remember the shortcut on factoring the parentheses method, it's AX and then the number, AX and then the number. So this is going to go straight to parentheses, and it's going to be AX, a number, AX, and a number. And I'm going to change right here and come underneath and write it to remind you. So now we've factored it. Now we have something times something equals 0, which means we have 0 product property. One or both of these things has to be 0. We don't know which one it is, so we just separate them. Oh, I got ahead of myself. What happens here? Yeah, this you could leave it and go straight to solving, and it will take care of itself. But this actually just becomes x plus 1. This one was already done, right? You don't do anything with the 2. Do you remember me explaining that this little shortcut, the whole parentheses parentheses AX and a number. It has no rhyme or reason. It works every time, but it's not a formal, like factoring a GCF out. So you don't pull the 2 to the front. You just divide it away. Is that what you are confused on? You look confused.
I don't know how they're both 2. When we got 2 and -1.
Because 2 squared.
Oh, right here. AX. So AX means this number gets copied here and here. And then the last number is the 2 numbers you came up with over here. Now we can separate and say 0 product properties. So x plus 1 equals 0, 2x minus 1 equals 0. So this is the shortcut. It's a trick. So because it's a trick, there's no like rhyme or reason. We don't have to check the formal boxes, you know. And so like if you pull the 2 out, now you're creating a GCF in here that is not actually there. It just works. So it's frustrating because you want it, you're so used to, yeah. And on this one little step, you don't. Alright, so solve. So this is -1. This is 1/2. Right? But x was nowhere in the original problem, so now this line is saying, now come back. X was cosine u. And if you don't like the u there, you could put theta or you can put cosine x. It's up to you. And now you're at the point where you go to your unit circle. Where on the unit circle is x -1? Where on the unit circle is x 1/2?
It's -1 at 180, right?
Yep.
And then 1/2
So
at
right here, u would be 180. And then what about here?
60 degrees.
60 and looking quadrant 4.
I'm not looking.
Oh,
6,300.
yep. So you could write your answers like that, or y'all know me, I like to list them out. So it's 60, 180, and 300. All right, go to the next one. So when you first look at it, solve 2 cosine squared x tan x equals tan x. In this is telling you to answer in radians. When you first look at it, you probably get overwhelmed. You should notice. Oh, do y'all want cookies? Yes. Cookies left.
Let me see if I can.
You getting cookies?
Are you getting cookies?
I like those.
Keep it here.
I don't know if I have my wallet. I don't.
Never mind.
Wait, hold up. My wallet, Joe. Wait, what do they have?
Chocolate chips. When you first look at it, you might get overwhelmed. It would help, first of all, to rewrite it outside of the directions, because there's a lot of noise. I would also get everything to one side. You know what I mean? So I'm going to subtract this over.
Are we gonna have to make this sine over cosine at some point?
No. We're not proving. We're not proving. We're solving. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Wait, so are we gonna have stuff from the last, like half year on this exam?
Not as much.
So, like a little bit over
Just a little.
numbers?
I don't know yet. I haven't looked at it. Yeah.
I think proof should just be a 7.1, 2, and 3.
What do you notice? What do we have?
10 minus 10.
We're gonna be playing ball all day.
How many terms do you have? Terms are separated by plus and minus.
2. Wait, greatest common factor.
There it is. You got a GCF of what? Of tan x. Let's pull it to the front. And then now you've just rewritten it in a manner of something times something equals 0, which means one or both of those things has to be 0, which means now we can separate this crap and set them equal to 0 and solve. So this one's not as bad. It looks the worst, but it's not as bad.
What's the square root of 1?
Now, the thought process here. What angle has a tan, which means y divided x, value of 0?
The square root of 1 half.
If I'm dividing y over x and I'm getting 0, which one must be 0?
Got 100 much.
If I'm dividing y over x and I'm getting 0, which one has to be 0? What? Yes. Because that's okay, right? It's okay for 0 to be in the top. So this means I am looking for where y is 0. Basically, that's how you know. And you could always confirm it. You could look at the unit circle and just divide and check. But this is me trying to guide you to right where you need to be. So what's the angle about, let's see, what is it, radians?
Y over x is going to be pi.
Which one?
Pi.
Or one more.
2 pi.
No.
What?
Don't. So do you notice how right here there's
Oh,
a parentheses on 2 pi? That means they don't want you to include 2 pi.
It would be
But
pi.
what's the same thing?
Negative
pi
pi?
works. There's one more.
Negative pi?
There it is.
Ah.
0 pi. You were so close. So 0 and then pi. Now this one I can't jump to yet. I gotta shift some stuff around. Add the 1, divide by the 2, square root. If I am square rooting, what do I write next?
A square root. Square root 1 over square root 2.
Well, I mean, like, there it is, positive, negative.
Oh my gosh.
And this would be square root 1 over square root 2, which means 1 over root 2. Right?
Wait. I thought we couldn't have a rating in the bottom.
Well, you can't. I'm not done. So what is that? So the fact that it says positive, negative means we're pulling from all 4 quadrants. So this is what angle has cosine, which is x, value of positive, negative, root 2 over 2.
It's gonna be all the 45 angles.
All the 45 angles.
Could I just wait now?
No, you can't. And then, of course, to list like your final answer, you could write it as one giant list, or you could just circle that and circle this together.
So are they getting a note? Are they getting a note card of
No.
We get our formula sheet, don't we?
Wait, just Holcombe did a.
That one is not the one to ask because he copped out on me at the end of pre-cal.
So you got lazy with it.
Man did.
Uh,
She brought up the idea to us.
I did give y'all a note card on the final.
On like the final 5 tests.
No, I didn't.
How are we gonna come back?
No, I didn't.
That's page. I'm gonna page every single. Did Paige write down all of it?
Let's go to the next one.
Why?
Sorry, Chloe.
The whole Bible.
It was awful. Yeah.
You don't want to know why.
It was
You
awful.
don't want to know
It-
why.
It was something I've never had an issue with before in the
Oh,
college.
yeah, my cat ran away last night too. Bad night.
No, just.
You don't care about your cat.
Sorry, he's got 9 lines.
The worst.
I think
Um,
you care about your cat.
He's got 9 lines.
look at the next one. This one should be short, sweet, and to the point. It does say, give me all the solutions between here and here, which means they want you to write both degrees and radians. But this, when you only have 2 terms and they've got something in common, then use the GCF technique because it's the fastest. So y'all try it. This is a GCF technique. And then you're going to use the zero product property for the bachelor a little bit. But the class night, right? I don't think we get invited to that. I think that's.
I mean, like, we can find our best, right? What is it? The
Back. Baccalaureate.
what?
Baccalaureate. I think it's a presentation of graduates.
Oh, it's the one that fills out the church. Yeah. I think they should see party.
Yeah.
I don't have a party.
Party? Aiden, did you get 0, 90, and 270?
What'd you say?
0, 90, and 270?
I mean, I would go, but I don't think they normally tell us to go to that. I go to class night.
I go to my house and go to sleep.
Wait, what's the first game today?
Oh, no, that's graduation.
I know, I graduated.
Yeah. Because we're the faculty. That's part of the.
Radian is 0, 5, 2, and
Yeah.
I know, this one's not, Pringle's not as formal as
Yes.
where it came from.
I locked in. I locked in. I locked in. I understand this
He
now.
does. He does.
Let's go.
We're supposed to, although I.
Miss Hope, the tests are right here.
Yeah, but please, no, put it down, put it up.
The key's right here. 5 points each.
Oh, I thought
She
it was gonna
could
be a Chick-fil-A.
There's a 1, there's a sine 2x, a
What
cosine
is
x.
what's getting built after QT on Battlefield? Is that fixing to be a Popeye?
Beside the racetrack?
Beside the racetrack.
No, you're talking about the interstate, going towards Walmart.
Maybe it is a racetrack.
The big red building?
Popeyes.
It's a Popeyes.
I knew it.
Just open the door, right?
They've already made the outside of
It's
it.
another
That's
gas
a great
station.
trip.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
That's a big spot.
Yeah, cute, yeah. It's a little-
I was hoping it would be Chick-fil-A.
So it's like a truck
We'll
station.
never get Chick-fil-A in Raleigh. I think it's gonna be like a rest area.
That'd be too easy.
No, they really won't. They didn't wanna be by the new public. No, I'm not thinking that sense. I'm not saying it in that sense. That would've been so good.
Huh?
I feel like that would've gotten so good.
Well, they had everything planned out, and then like Chick-fil-A was like, no, we don't want to be anywhere near because it hurts so bad.
They put a noodles there.
They're putting some steakhouse there.
Did you get that?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't solve this.
It's gonna
Very
be
well.
like every East
Ooh.
Hampton kid is gonna
What's
be
up,
like,
Mike? We went.
I think it's time for a brain break.
No brain break. Everybody good?
Yeah, sorry.
I need, yeah, which one are we talking about? Mental or physical?
why are you getting so upset?
Is it not when they?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I put that person in.
Where's X1?
Positive
Where's
one.
X0? Yeah.
Huh? Hey.
Yeah, it starts in 90 minutes.
Hoping my bracket goes perfect for that.
Alright,
It won't.
I was like, I was
Look right here.
Our teammates aren't good enough to help her when it shows.
When do you know?
Still. Oh, yeah, miss.
when you
Get on
take
that
the
rim.
square root.
Okay.
There's one real.
How did you miss?
Alright, look right here.
And
Number 10.
Oh.
What do you notice is different here that has not happened yet?
Double angle?
There's a double angle.
What does that
Just
mean?
go in, it means go in and substitute it.
Oh!
And it gets hard.
That's gonna be on
Listen carefully.
This is where I clock out.
No, don't put it on me.
That was
please.
my AirPods.
Please don't put it on me. This is where you've got to go to your formula sheet and pull cosine
I quit
of
my.
a double angle. On your paper, I am going to write all three. Well, but we're only going to pick one.
Oh, so we're gonna do.
I'm writing all three just to show you, like if you were to look back
Are we
at
gonna do
this
the second
and say,
one?
what did she do here? I'm writing all three so that
Why is there
I
a
can
Pringles
say
commercial on mine?
this went,
They know how to get to their real viewers.
and I ended up using this one.
I actually hate Pringles.
I ended up using 1 minus 2 sine squared. I didn't want to use the cosine squared minus sine squared because I like the idea of having a number 1 in there, and that one doesn't. And now why I used the middle one, I don't know. But it doesn't matter what you use. You would still come to the same answers. So right here, this I'm going to replace with 1 minus 2 sine squared. And then I'm going to copy the rest down. And of course, what does this mean we need to answer in? Radians. Alright, now my parentheses up there are really not necessary, but I do need to shift some stuff around because I can't really tell what I'm looking at here. What do you notice this is a positive 1 here? And then
So
there's
if
a
you subtract it,
positive
it'll
1
be
over here.
0.
So if I subtract this, and I'm going to show my work so you know where this is coming from, and then I come over here, they both cancel. Do you notice that? And then I'm going to bring this down, so now I've got this.
Wait, it's common. Back to.
GCF out. And I think I just left it. I left the negative in the front. It didn't bother me. You can pull a negative sign. I thought, I'm just going to pull a positive sign to the front. That would leave negative 2 sine plus 1. Right? uncertainty is going to be your friend. That's the most like effective way. So,
No.
The Sprite. I'm so sorry.
that was in slow motion.
I heard.
Brain break.
Yep. Now it's time for a burn break.
Christy Lee.
So I think we have to.
Clean up on aisle 13 in room. Constantly try to get me to engage
Who
in
got
like a
87?
deep conversation with him.
Garrett, how?
You don't even have your sheet done. Get busy. All right. Zero product property.
I already figured it out. Wait, no, I didn't.
Brody's cool. We figured it out. The teacher did. We used to get in trouble back in the day for working with another teacher. Back in Nam.
I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole thing just slowly on video. Yeah. Yeah. So it's where on the unit circle is y0, where on the unit circle is y positive 1/2.
I think your cleanup crew's making a hall.
Did you get this?
I know it's Kentucky highlights.
Oh.
What?
Oh, she didn't even heard.
Hi. It is, so Miranda cleaned up the bulk of it, but now of course it was.
Oh.
Never here.
I'm pausing this.
Pause the video.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What does it say on the formula sheet?
1 plus tan squared equals secant squared.
Next guy staying here for us.
On the formula sheet, 1 plus tan squared equals secant squared could be helpful here. But I can't replace it until I have tan squared by itself. So cup game, cup shuffle, the 1 over. So tan squared is secant squared minus 1. You see that? So I'm going to replace tan squared with secant squared minus 1, and then bring the rest down, and now my equation is all in terms of secant. I don't have tan in there at all.
So it'd be
Well, and then now I clean it up, so you've got the -1 and the -1 become a -2. And then when I look at that,
give it to me.
I see 3 terms. You could, now secant is not x or y, right? So you don't want to go in there and write x or y, because what if you forget that secant's not x, it's not y. So why don't we say, let secant x be, we'll call it n. Let's just call it something else. So that's n squared plus n minus 2. So much better. And then now we factor.
So it'd be -2 and 1.
Yes.
N plus 2 and minus 1.
Yep. The whole AX thing here, I still did it, it's just A was 1. So there's no extra step. And now we've got something times something equals 0. Yep.
Hooray. Yeah, back to the.
Ooh, go back. Now remember what we said that secant is actually what? 1 over cosine. So I don't want to write this as 1 over cosine because then I don't have cosines where I need it. So if I don't want to write this as my fraction, I have to write this one as the fraction. So secant is actually cosine of x. There you go, -1/2. Make the fraction here. Remember that? And then here, and then that one's a viewpoint. That one ends up staying 1. So where is x? -1/2. Where is x? 1. You are answering in only radians. X is 1 there. Number 5 on your My Math Lab homework will require you to do Pythagorean theorem.
I'm gonna.
Not Pythagorean, quadratic.
So you're taking it off?
No.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah. Like,
Number 5.
have a note to tell you that number 5 is a quadratic formula.
We lost it.
What? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
Ah.
That's not my problem.
Number 7.
Oh, that was hilarious.
No, 5. Yeah.
Is that the homework?
Let's see.
It's okay, because after Oakland wins the chip, we're getting 10 points on our test.
Oh my gosh.
It says go to decimals, which means just go straight to your calculator. So it's not bad. Like you get here, and then you go to your calculator. You do a positive one and a negative one.
I still don't understand how Kentucky let this guy shoot 10 threes. He shot 20 threes, right?
Yeah.
Made 10 of them.